Honestly, fellas, not bad. For our first ever Q&A, I think the bar has been set pretty high, man. We got a healthy mix of questions in here, boys. Some about Genshin, some about me, some about just life itself, the mysteries of the universe, and then there's, I didn't say I'd answer every question, so yes, if you did ask a question at some point in this video, I answered it, or I think I did. If I forgot someone, then I'll just, I'll answer it, and then I'll also, I don't know, something. Although, to be fair, some are repeat questions. So, for instance, when did you first fall for the principles? When did you start saying the Primordial? When the stars naked and oiled up. Who snuck that in there? The whole Primordial one thing is interesting just because when I looked back at the older videos, I found an interesting little evolution. The first time I ever mentioned the Primordial one was in my strongest characters in Genshin lore video, but you'll notice it's lacking something here, look. But despite being a potential point of worship for the Abyss, who in their own right are very powerful, there is a reason he's in second place, and that's because the most powerful being Teyvat has ever seen is the Primordial one, the creator of all. So yeah, I mean, it's got the music, it's got the image, but something's off. We can all feel it. The next phase in the evolution occurred in our Where Are the Heavenly Principles video. It stands to reason then that if she's merely an enforcer, then she's doing so at the behest of something else. That thing is most likely the Primordial one, the progenitor god of Teyvat's native fanes. I mean, it's better for sure, but still not quite there yet. We managed to get even closer when talking about our Nibelung theory. The dragons ruled Teyvat for an indeterminable amount of time, doing fuck all before the arrival of it. To call it mighty is to diminish the boundless expanse of its power. It is the architects of creation, the celestial artisan shaping the very fake sky with its omnipotent hands. It is the Primordial one, the creator of some, a progenitor god hailing from beyond the stars. We're really close. We are really close. Come on, just one more video. Rightfully taking the rank as the rumored strongest being in Teyvat, it's Il Capitano. But who or what is the man behind that suit, and just how did he become so goddamn strong? And one personal note before we start, is he really the strongest being in Teyvat? Or is he rather the strongest human in Teyvat? I mean, strongest being? You're telling me he's stronger than the Primordial one, a progenitor god hailing from beyond the stars? I don't buy it. Oh my god. There it is. There she is, man. That's right. That right there was the dawn of something beautiful. And to the question of do I have a folder of images? Yes and no. I mean, I have a folder of cosmic horror beings and alrecchino horror, but that's because I'm a fan of Lovecraftian and cosmic horror, more so than I was just going, oh, I need some Primordial one images. It just so happened that I figured I could use it for the Primordial one, given it's ambiguous in nature. As for when I started becoming a fucking truther, as you put it, that definitely wasn't the intention, and no, it wasn't love at first sight. Honestly, I was mostly neutral on them for the first couple of acts, or years I should say, of the game. It wasn't until Fontaine's final acts, just because at that point it seemed like the general opinion on the Heavenly Principles and Celestia had become negative, seeing as everyone was emotionally tied to Focalor's death. My problem with, how that whole thing came across is she was like, yeah, the Heavenly Principles stole the world from you sovereigns and stole your powers, but
Egeria stole the power of the primordial sea, and the Heavenly Principles stole the power you ancient dragons possessed.
You're not gonna mention that they did it for humanity's sake? Come on, man. As I started looking back at the older scenes of the game, I noticed this trend of making the Heavenly Principles and Celestia sound worse than they truly are. For instance, Dane telling us the gods destroyed Conria.
It was a powerful nation, built purely by humans. An unprecedented, flourishing, and glorious civilization. It was the pride of humankind.
A nation without a god?
Later events unfolded just as you remember. It was all destroyed by gods.
You mean that?
500 years ago, the gods descended upon the world and brought desolation to Conria. The pride of humankind was uprooted and crushed, like a weed removed from the garden of the gods.
Okay, why don't you tell us why they destroyed Conria? It's not like they just woke up one day and chose violence. You're leaving things out, bro. And this fact is probably true for all the other destroyed nations. It just so happens they don't have any survivors. I mean, look, guys, logically, think about it. The Heavenly Principles fought a war, created and nurtured humanity just to destroy humanity? I mean, unless this is some promised Neverland shit and we're feeding them into the grinder of the mouth, the Primordial one, it ain't adding up, man. So rather than viewing myself as a truther, I simply think I'm a realist and everyone else has just moved to the complete opposite side of the spectrum, making it look like I'm the extremist all of a sudden. Are you going to C6R5 the Heavenly Principles? Yes. Quite plainly, yes. When the Sustainer inevitably becomes playable, I will C6R5 her and then promptly look at my two little kids and go, y'all niggas better learn how to hibernate because we are starving this one. Do you believe the theory that Paimon is the true primordial one? Why or why not? No, not because I have any evidence to back up my claim, but just because I don't want it to be so. Although if you think about it, it would kind of make sense. I mean, Paimon is getting front row seats to everything going on in Teyvat right now. She's meeting the Archons, uncovering the world's secrets, knows how close the Tsaritsa is to starting her rebellion, met the leader of the Abyss Order. She's got eyes on everything right now. Although, this is all circumstantial, so, Do you think the Heavenly Principles are using the Traveler for their own ends? Yes, I do, because they trapped him in Teyvat. If they didn't have a plan for them, surely they would have just let them leave. All right, yeah, exit stage right. But nope, trapped them into that. They gotta be cooking some shit with them. Maybe they got like some suicide bomb in the back of their neck. That'd be something. Do you think the Sustainer is actually supposed to be Genshin Kiana, or do you think Kiana is KK instead? Do you think the Sustainer will become playable one day? Do you think KK is actually important to the lore, or was it supposed to be a cheeky thing of Kiana promoting the new game that we all blew out of proportion? And finally, do you think the story of Genshin will end up mirroring the legend of Saha? Oh, this motherfucker knows his lore, doesn't he? You know your lore, don't you, you bastard? I do think the Sustainer is supposed to be Kiana, if for no other reason, I mean, looks aside, than because the dev hinted as much before the game came out. I mean, when talking about the opening cutscene, the dev said, players will feel as though this god is a familiar face, as though you've somehow met before. As to the relationship that exists between her and the character you've met before everyone is thinking of, please experience it for yourself in Genshin Impact. I do think she'll be playable, but not with that model, just because, I mean, dude, look at her hair, man. There's no way this model becomes playable. It's a shame, but what can you do? With regards to KK, I think it depends on whether they're mentioned when we finally get some Traveler lore. It's never been mentioned thus far, but the way KK speaks as an authority figure of sorts makes me think it could be the creator who hasn't returned yet, mentioned by the Traveler. It could be KK sent the twins to Teyvat before venturing off somewhere. The Legend of Saha, bro. I don't, dude, 99% of the people watching this, I don't even think they know what the fuck the Legend of Saha is. So look, here's what I'll say. For those wondering, the Legend of Saha is just a flash game made by one of the CEOs of Hoyo, or some important dude over there. Look, as Genshin Impact progresses forward, it's looking increasingly more likely. So for that reason, I'm not going to spoil it, because it's looking more likely with every. Well, obviously, we're gonna have to see what happens in not long. Obviously, that's gonna be the big one. But because there's a bigger than 0% chance that it does end up mirroring the Legend of Saha, look, the ending will be nuts if that's the case. All right. And speaking of endings, how do you think Genshin Impact is going to end? What are your headcanon/main theories that haven't really been proven yet, but you still believe? The most obvious and plain one is the Traveler ascends to become a god and just topples Celestia and fixes everything, and given Genshin isn't exactly, telling an award-winning story here, I could see this happening pretty easily. I personally would think it's cool if they side with the sibling for whatever reason, and then just, we gotta square up against all our friends, but that's not gonna happen. So probably the other one. But that's for like the final ending for Genshin Impact 1 or whatever. Look, here's what I mean. If there was a Genshin Impact 2 and you were in charge of it, what would you want its setting to be? Post-apocalyptic Teyvat, a new world entirely. So I personally am of the opinion that Genshin Impact 1 is us simply exploring the nations and getting an understanding of this world, and then Genshin 2, or whatever the fuck it's called, will just be the big war or whatever, and the opening cutscene, it's just going to be some big-ass battle and puts the current Teyvat map into ruins, and we get all these familiar places, but they're all like just war-torn now. And the opening cutscene is just going to be some like 4-minute big-ass battle. Just because I'm not sure how efficiently Hoyo can wrap up like a 7 or 8 year journey in like 4 Archon quests in Conria or some shit, or like 10 quests over 2 years. I don't know. I just hope if the game does end with Genshin 1, just let's not rush the ending, man. It's been a long ways to get there. Why did you start making videos? When did you start making what is your main? I don't think I have a main per se, but I'd imagine since Yelan came out, I've probably used her the most. I mean, she's always been meta in the Spiral Abyss, is broken for exploration, can clear all the mobs in the overworld with her E. She's kind of nutty. To answer who's the hottest, in Star Rail, I got Donhung and Genshin Kaya. I started playing Genshin Impact the second day it came out, but dropped the game within like 30 minutes because it seemed like hot ass. It wasn't until like 3 months later when I kept seeing this girl who I thought was Coral from Princess Connect. I was so lost. I was like, why have I been seeing so much Coral recently? Until one day someone put Mona from Genshin Impact, and I was like, oh, Genshin Impact, that game that I dropped that was dog shit. So after staring at the image for about an hour, I re-downloaded Genshin Impact, gave it a real chance, and was like, it's not bad. So, and I don't think I've stopped since then. I've taken a couple months off just because the game can sometimes get just horrifically boring, but I've been pushing through since then. Why did I start making Genshin lore? Honest to God, I just found it fun for whatever reason. I've been making videos since I was 14 for years, man, and I've made over 500 videos, although they're all private now just because YouTube hates them, which is understandable considering the videos I used to make were very,
Hello, do you have pain in your body? Then take, the pills. I took, like 3 today. Or was it 12?
A boat crosses yonder as the sun gets ready to set a sail of its own. I could never get raped by Bill Gates.
That is 350. Where's the? I need the communism music.
I don't know what the word no means. I don't. What is that word? What is that? I don't. Yeah, right. Fontaine's first Archon quest was just a giant murder mystery, and people had questions, so I decided to jump in right then and there and answer some of them. Look, the thing is, I will always do whatever I find fun. If, making videos on Genshin is fun, I will do that. If making those sped videos I was making back in the day becomes fun again, I'll do that. Do you think that maybe everyone in Teyvat is just a big ley line memory, or that Teyvat is a living being, like we are inside a monster or something like that? What kind of fucking works of fiction you've been getting into recently? You are right up my alley, Buster. I mean, maybe. I can't really think of anything that will rule it out definitively. I mean, I know some people say, it's all a dream, and the only thing I'd say is, like, the Traveler's been to other worlds. They came from beyond the stars, similar to the Primordial one, and the world of Teyvat is on the imaginary tree. We gotta remember that. I mean, Otto saw Dvalin, right? Do you agree that Saha is underrated waifu? Nope. The one funny thing I find about Saha is the fact that she was built up as this badass standing next to the Shogun. I mean, she defeated Kazuha's friend, but then she proceeded to do nothing the entire story, and all I really remember her is talking about how to clean a statue, and then her just literally just being out cold. She is sleeping on the ground after fighting Signora, who is spotless. It's as if she never even got into a fight, who then went on to lose to the Traveler. So I guess the Traveler could clean sweep Kujo Saha. It has not been an easy road for you Saha mains. No, it has not. She hasn't even appeared in anything since then. She doesn't even have a hangout quest. That is what? Maybe she is underrated just for that simple fact. Only because it's on my mind right now. What's your favorite region in Genshin so far, and why? Maybe your most hated one. Okay, I guess we always gotta throw in the hated one too. In that same vein, I'd be curious, who's your favorite and most hated I mean, okay, favorite region is Mondstadt, just because fucking freedom. Jokes aside, Mondstadt to me is what I picture when I think of a fantasy village. I mean, brick housing, a resident dragon, and a semi-important emphasis on alchemy. It really does it for me. And exploration isn't cancer, because everything is really low. You don't gotta climb shit, you just walk forward. Least favorite region? I'm assuming you mean a nation, so I can't say some shit like Dragonspine, which was whichever dumb fuck that implemented that fucking freezing mechanic needs a ban for life. A game that prides itself on exploration limits how much you can explore the mountain because of freezing. Just genius move, bro. Really genius. Of the nations, however, probably Sumeru. Not because I don't like it. I like Sumeru, but I don't know. It's a lot of fucking trees to climb, bro. And trying to 100% it was a pretty rough experience. Favorite character? Hu Tao, probably. Or not Hu Tao. It's Hu Tao, definitely. Why? Because funerals are my favorite social gathering. The least favorite character is Mika, because what does this nigga even do, bro? His kit is ass. His story relevance is ass. His event appearance is ass. His porn is probably ass. No, he's a kid, guys. He's a kid, guys. Stop. Only redeeming factor is the small amount of Capitano lore, but that goodwill gets tossed right out the window as soon as this little fucking french fry opens his mouth.
I've wanted to become a cartographer and map out...
Shut the fuck up, my nigga. God damn, I hate his voice. What's your favorite map? Name 3. This nigga fucking gave me an assignment, bro. Mondstadt, Fontaine, and Inazuma. Which playable character do you think will get killed off in Genshin Impact? What weapon type would you like to see added? Unironically, I don't see a way forward for the Primordial one. It's either already dead or going to die. I just cannot envision a resolute ending where it lives. I mean, aside from its, I got Dainslift or the Abyss sibling also biting the dust. If you're talking playable characters, I mean, gun to my head, if I had to pick one, probably Venti, just for some fucking Istaroth reconstruction program. He came from the Thousand Winds, so maybe the Thousand Winds are scattered. Can join them, we get Istaroth, who can, I don't know, talk down the sustainer or some shit. Kind of like the Apep fungi situation, huh? Who's your favorite Archon? A. What Genshin dish do you most want to try? And do you currently have any pets or have had any pets growing up? Rockin' Riffin' Chicken. Hey, dude, ain't it wild that both her specialty dishes are chicken? That's fucked up, man. No, as for pets, I grew up with budgies, which are just parakeets for those who didn't know. Although they weren't like mine, they were like my dad, because they don't like anyone but my dad. So I kind of like gave up on trying to establish a relationship with him. We've had 4. There's just 1 left. If he's still kicking by the time I go home in a few months, I can show him to you guys. His name is it's either Bob or Phil or I don't know, Jeffrey or Zoe or some shit. Which limited banner character do you regret pulling for? Most favorite female playable character in Genshin Impact. Most favorite male playable character in Genshin Impact. Favorite female character is Hu Tao. Favorite male is D-Luke. The characters I regret pulling. Why didn't you ask me about which characters I'm like, fuck yeah, I pulled this nigga. Why are always gonna be the ones I regret? Sino and Child. I mean, these are easy answers. Child is weird. Because I did something when pulling for Child that you should never, ever do when pulling on characters. So I never cared for Child. I never cared to pull for him. But when I pulled for Child, it was like on his 3rd rerun, and I thought to myself, I was like, I'm gonna pull on his banner. Yep, I'm gonna pull on his banner, but I am confident that I will lose the 50-50, and not only will I lose the 50-50, but I will finally get that coveted Mona that I never had and don't have. I still don't have Mona, bro. I have like a C5 D-Luke, C4 Kuching, C4 Jean. I don't have Mona. This game won't give me Mona, bro. She's the only reason I came back to this game. Give me Mona, man. It should be free. I want a free Mona. There is that banner next patch, but shit's a scam, man. So I was like, fuck, I'm gonna pull on this banner. I'm gonna lose the 50-50. I'm gonna get Mona. Yeah, needless to say, that did not happen.
But for now, forget about that. Blow the whistle, baby, you the referee.
I got Childs. Sino, because his kid is just weird, man. His skill is useless outside his ult. His ult lasts too long. I just don't like using him. I just pulled him because I thought he was fucking hilarious. Have you played Honkai Impact the 3rd? If you did, what part are you at? If you haven't, are you planning on playing part 1 and part 2 of the story? I can't play mobile games, bro. I mean, hats off to those who can, but I just can't, so no. I mean, hey, bring it to PC, bring it to console, sure, but as long as it's on mobile, hell no. Out of the 3 games, which do you prefer? Genshin, Honkai Star Rail, or Honkai Impact the 3rd? Character design, gameplay, and story-wise. Well, again, never played Honkai Impact the 3rd. So between Genshin and Star Rail, I mean, personally, recently, I've been preferring Star Rail just because I'm just like a guy who likes combat challenges and stuff. I've always been a competitive person. There's nothing to do in Genshin, whereas In Star Rail, there's a bunch of endgame content that's pretty fun. I think Star Rail has a better character design, but Genshin has better gameplay and a better story. What's your favorite OST? Name 3? Okay, I mean, so I like the Atlantic Ocean, the Pacific Ocean, and the Southern Ocean, I suppose. I don't know. I don't know. Aren't there like 5 oceans? It's like all of them. If Primordial, why Hots? Because she the blueprint, baby. Do you think that Teyvat is a bubble universe or a real world? Real world. How would you feel if Nibelung came back to life and kicked the Primordial one's ass? The same way I'd feel if I never fucked your mom, nigga. Is Paimon an adult or a child? I gotta be careful how I answer this one. Personally, I think Paimon is a... Ooh, that was okay. Sorry, my bad, boys. Something got caught in my throat. What was the question? Oh yeah, is Paimon an adult or a child? Personally, I think Paimon's an... Oh, started choking again. Ain't that a bitch? Is Paimon an adult or a child? Adult, sure, why not? Look, if this little thing deserves love, then so does Paimon. Who is the most racist in lore? Mention your top 5 players, lore and meta-wise. I'll do it in order. Hu Tao, Official, Zhongli, Venti, Nervalette. Based on lore, who would win between Klapoth, the so-called Amber Lord, and the Primordial One, a progenitor god hailing from beyond the stars, if they ever happen to cross paths? Look, who would win, Bob the Builder or Kratos? Huh? Come on, man. Come on, man. Why is your name DeWitt when in fact you have no wit? This is funny because I'd imagine 100% of you think the channel name is pronounced DeWitt, when in actuality it's Dawit, which is, it's just my first name because my channel names were horrid. They were like Narc with a C and Plasma with an H. It's Dow as in the Dow Jones is fucking me, and then Eat as in I won't be able to eat because the Dow Jones is fucking me. Dawit. Who, in your opinion, is hiding the most lore apart from the Archons? I mean, the obvious answer is Dainsleif, but that seems like a cop-out answer, so Kaya, sure, why not? If you and Crackheads fans would fight, who would win, them or you? The Crackheads fans, I'm assuming, are Nibelung's fans. Look, here's my resume.
My resume is not something to scoff at. As someone who played football for 5 years, taekwondo for 2 years, and basketball for 1, I'm here to tell you I am quite the athlete.
Face reveal? Maybe. Maybe once my hair grows back. I've never been opposed to showing my face. I think the most recent video with my face on it was my Dan Heng and Fu Xuan breakdown. I just haven't really, you know, been making videos with my face because that was like right before I left the house, and I haven't been home for a couple of months. Actually, I went back for Christmas, but when I get back home for summer, you know, right before not long, I'll make some video with my faces if people still care by then.
She doesn't dual wield them. What does she do? Wait, how do you say the 3 for dual? 1, dual, 3. Is it Trace?
Since I think you've mentioned being Catholic before, what are your thoughts on the SSPX or the TLM in general? Alright, I'm Catholic, yeah, but I'm not this Catholic. What a question, man. I love it. I'd imagine a lot of you have no idea what this guy is talking about, which is fine. I mean, I don't feel like explaining it, so this is just a one-on-one conversation between me and him. To the person who wrote this, I personally have never been to a traditional Latin mass, but I mean, Latin is a dead language, so I'm not sure how I'd feel if I pulled it up and I didn't understand a word of what the priest was saying. Also, I want my priest to face me, because I'm pretty sure in TLMs they face the altar, don't they? Nigga, I went to a black church, all right? I got a dude sitting here hyping everyone up, just looking at us, right? I'm used to eye contact. I'm not fucking... As for the society, look, I'm gonna keep it a buck, bro. I've never interacted with someone from there, but generally, I tend to lean towards the idea that tradition isn't always something we should, try and hold on to. The group doesn't exactly have the cleanest history, but neither does the Vatican, so I suspect for the most part, most people know about them, hold an opinion that they are, a really out there group, when in fact, I know they have like an extremely loud vocal minority that are really loud, that say some wild shit, but who knows? At the end of the day, maybe they aren't that problematic. Do you find Genshin/Hoyoverse lore uniquely fascinating, or do you also find yourself digging as deep as you can into the lore of other franchises? If the latter, can we get some examples? It's not just Genshin. In the past, I remember there was a stage where I was super obsessed with SCP lore. I mean, Scarlet King, come on now. For games, I suppose COD Zombies, I think I had a pretty good understanding of what that story was up until Richtofen just like died in Black Ops 4, and I was like, what the fuck's going on here, bro? Because that was like the 4th Richtofen or some shit, and I was like, fuck, you've lost me. There's like time travel in there, and I was like, oh my god, bro. He killed himself twice, like, man, I don't know what's going on, bro. But other than that, I don't think there's been, obviously, Lovecraftian lore, but do niggas even read anymore? I got questions. The Big Bang, is that when universe truly began and became infinite? How it looked like and sound? Was it as big of a deal? What the fuck? Am I having a stroke? Was it as big of a deal as we make it out to be? Is the Big Bang really the kind to happen? How do we know if there wasn't a second or a third? We just don't know because the universe destroyed itself. What if we are living in cycles of the universe? You're referencing a couple different ideas here, namely eternal inflation and a cyclical model of the universe. To start, by infinite, do you mean infinite as in age or infinite as in size? If you're talking about age, I mean, I'm pretty sure we're pretty confident that the universe is, 14 billion years old? We have the CMB, which suggests as much. If you're talking about size, all we really know is that the actual universe is a lot bigger than the observable universe. I mean a lot bigger. How did the Big Bang look and sound? It's kind of impossible to say because the universe didn't like explode into space. It created space when it expanded, right? So think like if you had like a balloon and you expanded the balloon. It's a bad example because it's expanding into something, but when the balloon expands, it's creating space, right? It's expanding, and you're getting more surface area on the balloon. Think about it like that, right? But right at the start of the Big Bang, which was an expansion in a fraction of 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 a second, the universe underwent something known as cosmic inflation, where its scale increased so much in like 10 to the minus 32nd seconds that it's comparable to taking the width of a molecule and expanding it until it was 62 trillion miles long in 10 to the minus 32 second. Keep in mind, that is 666, weird number, times bigger than the observable universe, which is only 93 billion miles long. One of the biggest questions is always, why did cosmic inflation start and end? To which some scientists came along and said, oh, hold up, guys, hold up. What if cosmic inflation never started and never ended, meaning it's always going on? Thus came eternal inflation, which is just cosmic inflation is always happening throughout other parts of the universe, creating their own bubble universes, leading to this infinite multiverse, and each bubble universe has its own physical constraints. I mean, there's nothing to support this, but considering cosmic inflation is widely supported, and most models of the universe lead into eternal inflation as a natural, next step. I think it's pretty likely. I'm a big fan of eternal inflation. As for the cyclical model of the universe, I'm less familiar with that. I know it's the idea that the universe is always expanding and contracting, and I think Sir Roger Penrose says something like previous remnants of the universe is what inevitably leads to the next expansion or some shit like that. I don't know. It's all super speculative anyway, but it is fun as hell to talk about. What do you think about the Fermi paradox? So the Fermi paradox, for those good ass questions. So the Fermi paradox, for those unaware, is an idea meant to draw attention to the high probability that alien life exists compared to the lack of evidence for said alien life. It's a paradox for a reason, you see. I am personally of the opinion that alien life has to exist somewhere out there, just because let's do some simple math. Let's assume life has a 1 in 1 quadrillion chance of happening, which is very, very, very low. Drake's equation, mind you, which was made by fucking people way smarter than I am, actual scientists, says life has a 1 in a million chance of happening. But let's just go with 1 in quadrillion, alright? There's 200 billion galaxies in the observable universe alone, which itself is just a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of the larger, possibly infinite universe. In these 200 billion galaxies, there's, let's say, 250 billion planets. That gives us about 50 quintillion planets in the observable universe alone, which means life, assuming it only has a 1 in 1 quadrillion chance of happening, should have happened at least 50,000 times. Now here's the problem. Given the rates of human progress, I mean hell, 250,000 years we've been on this planet, we took it over, we rule it with an iron fist. Sharks have been on the planet for 450 million years, they can't even leave the fucking ocean. In 1903, the first plane was made by the Wright brothers, and then 65 years later, a man was put on the moon. We are currently experiencing an exponential age of growth brought on by the advent of the Industrial Revolution, and it's currently being accelerated by the internet. You give humanity another 10,000 years, nigga, we're galactic conquerors, bro. we might not even be in the fucking galaxy anymore, bro. So with that said, where are the aliens? I think they just don't fuck with us, honestly. I just don't think they fuck with us. They're just watching us, but they not finna interrupt, man. How many letters in Raiden A? I mean 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I think. I don't know. What's the process behind each video? They're really good despite how fast you make them. Aw, you're trying to butter me up, aren't you? I mean, I just talk about whatever I find fun, man. The channel has either a theory video or just like a discussion video where we discuss something and tie in some ethics. The theory videos usually take longer just because I gotta research something, whereas discussion ones like I don't know, like is A really a bad person, are usually shorter because it's like there's not much research involved and it's more so I gotta formulate some sort of position. Who's your favorite dragon, Genshin, and why? You evil son of a bitch. If I had to pick, Nibelung, because he's king of the crack addicts. Can you literally eat core lapis? Couldn't really find an answer on the internet, but I am under a tree, so in the name of philosophy, yeah, sure, bro, believe in yourself. Who's your favorite Honkai Star Rail character? Ron May or Branya? One of those two? Probably Ron May. Why did you start your channel, and what is your future plans for it? As a huge fan, you guys trying to butter me up that never misses a single video. Oh my god. I want to know the journey you're taking us on. Oh, I want to know the journey I'm taking me on too. So this is my second channel. I started them both when I was 14, but when I signed up the other one with a Maker Studio, and then I was like, I'm not sure I want to do this anymore. My first subscriptions are literally all my friends from high school. The first few videos were just skits I would make about different race groups, because I mean I had a diverse friend group. Day in the life of an Indian man, day in the life of a Chinese man, day in the life of a black man, day in the life of a white man. Yeah, needless to say, these videos are over time it turned into something I just did because I thought it was fun. I mean, I'd make these horrid videos, but I thought they were hilarious, and I still think some of them are funny, but again, YouTube didn't like most of them. The only video of any value was probably the fitness transformation video. But the other ones are they're interesting, man. Journey, is that what we're on? We're on a journey? You know, yeah, fuck it, we're on a journey. Where to? Who knows? But as long as we're having fun getting there, fuck it. What do you think qualifies someone to receive a vision? Ambition. Katarina Hot. I'm assuming you mean Cat from League, because it looks like you have a Teemo profile pic. I'm more of an Irelia and Gwen enjoyer myself, but sure, I can appreciate Cat too. Bot lane doesn't listen to pings, but it's fine. Does pizza belong on pineapples? Are you throwing your pizza on pineapples? Are you still a fan of K-pop, bro? There's no way you were here when I was reacting to K-pop. There's no way. Yeah, I am still a fan of K-pop. My top 3 songs this month are, I think, August D, Snooze, Itzy, Crazy in Love, and then Like Crazy, Jimin. Do Fish Dream. Nigga, I didn't even know fish fucking sleep. I swear if they stop moving, they just die. Tell us your entire backstory and lore. Ooh, kinky. My name is Dawitz, as I said before. I'm 22. I turned 23 at the end of April. I studied international relations at the University of San Diego. Fuck you, Toreros. And since then, I have just been traveling. Who would you be able to take on in a fight or the other way, your choice? Fremine. Is Zhao baby girl? No, Fremine is. Do you think people can actually get isekai'd? I mean, how do you think Elisa Lam ended up in that water tank, brother? What is the meaning of life? Go have some fun, brother. Who's your mommy? Sustainer. Is Teyvat's upside down, and why is there no real moon? Like, what is up with that? What is the logic? Nigga, what is that in the sky if it ain't a real moon? Do you research the topics you talk about, or do you play through the game and just share your thoughts on whatever theories you like? Yesn't? Both? I do both. Just depends on the video. For my question, fuck, marry, kill. Primordial one, the Sustainer, and Nibelung. Kill Nibelung. Damn, this is tough. Kill Nibelung. Kill Nibelung? Fuck the Primordial one. And marry the Sustainer. Are cucumbers edible? Yeah, I think they are. How long does it usually take you to make your videos? About 5 to 6 hours. Not a crazy amount of time. What are your expectations for Notlon? Dark-skinned Claymore warrior dressed Pyro Archon. Surely they don't do the complete opposite of that. Oh my god, is that it? Is that done? Is that it? That was the last one? Oh my god, we made it. Oh my god, dude. I think that was every question, honestly. I mean, some will repeat again, but look, guys. Through it all, through the Primordial one, a progenitor god hailing from beyond the stars, to the Joseph Stalin propaganda, to our beloved Sustainer of heavenly principles, to the Albrecht, to that bastard crackhead Dragon King Nibelung and his band of misfits. We made it to 10k, which is interesting, man. It's interesting. I'll keep saying it's interesting given the history of this channel, which I'm sure one day you guys, I'll be able to tell you guys everything, but we'll see what we get to next. What interesting motifs we can pick up on the way, but I hope you guys are having fun, man. That's the whole point, man. Just have some fun. I love each and every single one of you bastards, from the people who are always in the fucking comment sections to the people who just silently watch, but they're always there, and then there's the one dude who has my notifications on and he just sits here and dislikes the video within 3 seconds. I love you all, man. This shit has been so much fun. But please, for the love of God, stop fucking giving me money. Please, man. It feels so wrong when you guys gift me money. It's like, and it's weird because of like, if a dude on the street was like, here, you want 10,000 bucks? Oh my goodness, yes, thank you. I'd fucking take that from you. But taking it from you guys, come on, man. I can't do that. Take your fucking money, man. Just you being here is more than enough, man. Let's fucking go, baby. So just hold on to your fucking money. If you really want to spend it, go donate to, save the whales or some shit. Save the koalas. Gotta watch out for them fucking koalas. They're going extinct, man. I'm telling you. But other than that, man, I will see you beautiful sons of bitches on Sunday. I am fucking drained. And this video's